Good evening, everybody, and welcome along to Inside Line Racing. And we've just seen someone that's almost bottled it into the first corner. But there we go. That's an interesting start to the stream. There we go. Welcome to the opening round of Season 6. This is ILR3 on the PS4 side. It's been 2 months since the last ILR3 race on this platform. These drivers are anxiously awaiting to see how they fare for this season. A full 21 race calendar, which takes us all the way to the end of January, beginning of February. So they're not going to miss out any tracks. It's going to be all tracks that are going to be covered. And what a way to kick it off here at Albert Park in Melbourne for the Australian Grand Prix. It's been regularly been on the F1 calendar since '96 and has currently had a deal to race at Albert Park until 2023. We've got a full lobby today, which is great. We do have a few people that can't make it tonight, so we do have a few reserve drivers, but I will go through that in a minute. I am Jess, and I'll be your commentator for this evening. I'm filling in for Hugo this week, as he's away in France. Lucky him, in sunny France. It might be sunny due to the heat wave, I don't know, but possibly next week as well, but I don't know yet, but definitely for this week. Now, let me just go through the drivers first of all, just so I know who is in the league for this season. If I butcher any names, I do apologise, but you know, at least I was given plenty of notice that I was gonna fill in for this league, so I was given enough time to practice. So, in the Mercedes this season, we have CJ Slicks, and his teammate is Tom. I'm gonna say Tomo or Tom. I don't know how you say it. But I think both of them are here tonight, I believe. Yep, they are. So we've got CJ Slicks and Tom. In the Ferrari, we have Campbell and Verstappen. Now, Campbell was in ILR4 last season, so he got moved up. And also our ILR5 champion from last season is here in this tier as well. And I need to get the tyres up. There we go. And it is Verstappen. It's in the other Ferrari. And the people in the Mercedes, they're both new, so that's why I didn't mention what tier they were last season, because they are new. So it'll be interesting to see how everyone does. Josh is setting the banker line time at the moment with a 1:21.9. He's in the McLaren, and he's filling in for one of the McLaren drivers, which is Shapalili. Shapalili could not make it today, so Josh is filling in for him. And in the other McLaren for this season is another new driver who I've known in other leagues, who I'm known to be mega quick and definitely going to be the one to watch out for, is Westy. Now, in the Red Bull is a strong pairing, I can possibly tell, but we'll have to wait and see, as Paga's just gone on pole, as I said that, so that was a good time in there. So yeah, Paga is on pole at the moment. He's in the Red Bull. He was in ILR3 last season as well. And on the other Red Bull in the pits, he was in ILR3 I think 2 seasons ago. He was in ILR5 last season, and he is mega quick on this game. So, and it's the first time he's turned no TC. Well, he turned TC off. So I wonder how he's going to do here. So Owen is in the other Red Bull. In the Toro Rosso, we have Lormont in the Toro Rosso, who's currently going into the pits right now. And then the other Toro Rosso is Dinanen 069, who is out, I believe, on an in-lap. So Dinanen was in ILR3 last season, and so is Norman. So both ILR3 teammates reuniting for this season, so they could be ones to watch out for as well. In the Renault, we've got Spaghetti Chips, also known as Lenny, and his teammate is Drop G 518. Both of them dropped down from ILR2 last season, and they've teamed up for this season. And Lenny is looking to do well. He won ILR2 in season 4, so I wonder, him being in a lower tier this season, I wonder if he could do a lot better. In the Alfa Romeo this season, we have ILR4 champion from last season, who is in the pits at the moment, is Dougie. I think that's how you say Dougie. And in the other Alfa Romeo is Kryptonite. They're both in the pits. And I'll just check it. There we go. I'm just seeing who else I missed out. In the Racing Point, it is now called everyone's diving into the pits. So I won't follow each of them. So In the racing point, we have Terra Racer, who is a new driver. And in the other racing point, we have Alex Killer in ILR2, who was in ILR2 last season. In the Williams, we have Ginger, I believe, who is racing today. I think he's replacing Cohen, who can't make it today. And in the other Williams, it is Gamer Boys. I'm just trying to see who have I. So I've done McLaren, I've done Red Bull, I've done Ferrari, Toro Rosso, Alfa Romeo, Mercedes, Renault, Haas. I haven't done Haas. So in the Haas, we have another new driver. We have. I'm just trying to get these names right. That's the most difficult thing. Samu is in the Haas, and along with, I'm just trying to see who is usually going to be in the Haas. In the Haas is Joachim as well. So I think I've mentioned everybody who is here today. So yeah, I have covered everybody. There we go. So let's go straight to qualifying. So one new thing on this game, just like in real life, there are only 3 compounded tyres you will hear me say in this game. Softs, mediums and hards. There is, oh my god, and I think, I was wondering what happened there. You can hear my game really loud, so I do apologise there. That was interesting. Sorry about that. So, but anyway, soft, mediums and hards. And the tyres in variation is C2, C3 and C4. So C4s will be the hardest. Now, I've been told by Jack, the owner, that ILR3 is meant to be mega close this season. Because it is like ILR 2.5 in a nutshell. A lot of these guys could go into ILR 2 on a good day. So I'm very much looking forward to it. So, and we got both Red Bulls in P1 and P2 at the moment, which is good to see. We got Owen on pole with his teammate Paga in P2. Let me just get the gap for you. There we go. 1/10 of a second separating between these two. And then we've got Verstappen in P3, CJ Slicks in P4. Let's see who I can go on board with on a lap. Let's go right on board with Tom in the Mercedes then. So there are 3 DRS zones on this circuit. There are 16 corners, 6 to the left and 10 to the right. Interesting turns for overtaking is turn 1 and also turn 3 in the first DRS straight. And a lot of corners to watch out for incident is turn 11 and turn 12. That is where we saw a lot of people get taken out or then bottling it in all the other tiers I've seen throughout the week. So if we don't see anyone bottle it in this corner this today, I will be pretty surprised. But anyway, let's go on board with Tom as he goes past turn 13 into turn 14 going into sector 3. He's on the soft compound tyre at the moment. He's just hit the gravel a little bit there. That might not have done his tyres very good as he goes towards the final corner. What lap time is he going to set for his in-lap? It is a 120.6. That puts him in P4 just behind Verstappen. I'm just seeing who else could we follow who is on a lap. We got Terra Racer, who is could he be on a lap? No, he's not. He's not on a lap. He might have had his lap time invalidated. And I think Alex Killer is on an in-lap as well. Just seeing who else I can catch. Westy. Yeah, let's just go on board with Westy as well. Westy is new. I'm quite surprised at the moment. He's currently down in 16, but the top 16 separated by 1.3 seconds. If this is how it's likely to be for the rest of the season, then Hugo's going to have a very good time commentating for this league. So I'm excited for him, and I'm excited to do the first 2 rounds. So I've noticed on Westy's car, on the McLaren, it has Team Bahrain. Or I might be reading things wrong, but anyway. As Westy just goes past turn 10, he's got enough DRS to play with, so he should have a very good lap time on his hands at the moment. So, and he goes past the very typical turn 12. He gets the power nice and early, but not too early, as he flips the DRS, going into turn 13, going into 4th gear, and then into the right-hander into 5th. Very interesting move. Going up the gears there, you don't need to brake as much going into that corner. Going into the last few corners then, flips the DRS wide open right now. Good reaction time from him. What lap time is he going to set? It looks to be a quick one. A 1:20.7. That puts him into P8. Look at this grid. This is absolutely insane right now with the times that they have produced at the moment. So, and it's only 6 minutes left of qualifying. So, yeah, it should be interesting. And looking at what the time set in ILR1 just gone. I think ILR1 was a 1:19.4, I think. I don't know. I can't remember. I don't think we're going to reach ILR1 standards today. But we could see at least a few people go into the 1:19s. We could do anyway. Let us know in the stream comments who you think is going to get pole position today, who you think is going to do that. And an interesting thing has also been brought to the ILR leagues this season. If you finish in the top 10 and get fastest lap, you will get an extra point. So, and an interesting stat, quite a lot of people finished outside the top 10 set faster laps, so that they still stole the point from the top 10. And you could do that. If anyone outside the top 10 gets fastest lap, no one will get an extra point at all. And that's going to shape things up quite a lot. So, at least the tiers I commentated on this week, that didn't happen for us. The top 10 did set fastest lap. One member of the top 10 did set fastest lap. Yeah, I'm just going to see who we can catch. Like, literally, everyone is going to dive it in to the pits to about to set their last runs. Now, since everyone's gone on for softs for most of it, they're not going to have enough tyres for the race. So if they bottle the first few laps, then the softs are not going to last very long. So, yeah. So, a lot of people are starting to get purple set to 1. Now, one thing that they brought into the driver's perspective, they can see if they've gone purple or not. I can't see if they've gone purple or not. So I don't know if they've done a personal best. Well, I know they've done a personal best, but I don't know if they've done purple. So it will be interesting. So here comes Samu. And he's going, is he slowing down or is he going to go? Yep, he is slowing down. He's diving into the pits. Right, I do believe Josh, is Josh on a lap? Yeah, Josh could be on a lap. He is managing his ERS well. He's not going on the power right away, but of course he's a new driver. So any of the reserve, whoa, first person into the 1:19s then. Typical. It is hard to keep track of people's laps when I don't know if they're on an in lap or an out lap. I should have keep on track with the person who was on pole, not the person who was in 15th. But never mind, lesson to be learned for next week. But anyway, 1:19.9 then already. First person into the 1:19s, which is good. And they'll probably... Will he have time to dive it back into the pits, or will he... I think he will have time just to get one more lap in. It is going to be a close... You know, I don't know. I don't know how long it's going to last, but we'll have to wait and see. But everyone else is going to dive it in. Owen's teammate Paget is going out for his final run as well. I wonder if they're going to get the toe too as well. Don't forget, there's also ILR2 happening at the same time as well on the channel. You can have both streams on at the same time. I don't mind with that. And I believe Gran Chapel is doing the commentary this week. I think Graham is doing it with Soup as well for the rest of the season. So Graham is on his own this week, but I think Soup will be back next week, but I'm not entirely sure. But if you want to check that out as well, do feel free. Go between both streams if you want to. I'll be more than happy. But watch ILR3 because ILR3 has mega close already between the top 17, or well, top 15 especially. So, as we got another one that I didn't mention actually. I think Pedders is another reserve driver that I forgot to mention. I think Pedders is filling in for Drop G. So Drop J can't make it today. So Pedders is filling in for him. So reserve drivers will be filling in if any of the guys cannot make it. And we'll see how he is doing on a lap. Now, I do believe Owen's just dived it into the pits. I think he's going to have enough time to get a lap in, I think. He will have just about enough time anyway. So, I don't know. only time will tell. And because I'm a reserve for Sunday nights, I'm not in any of the chats. Usually I get the drivers to tell me what the weather report is. Unless any of the drivers have me on Twitter and message me already, I don't know whatsoever what the weather's going to be like for the race. Apart from ILR1 Xbox, it has been bone dry. And also ILR1 PC was wet as well. ILR1 Xbox was wet to dry. So I wonder if it's going to throw a spanner in the works today. We'll have to find out. But here comes Pedders across the line. Let's see if he can improve on his time. He does. No, he doesn't actually. He stays P17, but he does have time for one more lap. Now, I do believe the two Red Bull guys, I think, are going to be the last people to cross the line, unless any of the guys will be last, as Campbell is just going past the last few corners. He's about to set a flyer as well. CJ is he has time for one last lap as well. He's currently sitting in P10. And if you are new to league racing in general and to short qualifying, it's an 80-minute session, and if you qualify in the top 10, you will have to start the race with the tyre you set your fastest lap on, which is the softs. And strategy, most people will be going for the one stop. Either will be doing I think the recommended strategy, I've seen most people do this week, is soft to hards. Soft to medium is doable, but you will have to manage your tyres a lot more. So Jake just said, is the timing screens in reverse? No, it is not in reverse. Owen is on pole position. Now, he was on good form last season in Brazil, and he's continuing to show his good form from the last race, because he finished P2 in Brazil, in ILR3, of course. We got Alex that's just split the Red Bull boys in P2. He will be the last, I think, to set a lap, I think. So here we go, CJ Slicks is about to cross the line then. What can he do in the Mercedes then? Can he split any of the guys at the top? 120.2 puts him in P4. Alex could not improve, sadly. And we have got, I believe, Owen just going past turn 9 and 10. Let's see what he could do in the Red Bull as well. I'm just going to see if anyone is further ahead on him. On a lap, Lawman's in the Toro Rosso is further ahead. Let's just go on board with him as he goes past turn 13. Oh, there was almost a little bit of a slide there anyway. Now, I have heard from a few drivers they're doing soft to mediums. Now, that could be a bit of a gamble, but we'll have to wait and see. Oh, Lawman he's lost a bit of his front wing there, but that still would have not been that would have been a good lap time. That puts him in P12. Who else on a lap? I think only, oh, nope, he's diving into the pits, and I think that's the safest option for him, because he knows that not many people could get competitive lap time in. Save your tyres for the race. Don't go even faster. That is the safest option to do. So, and yes, he has retired from the session then. So, your first pole man of the session for ILR3 PS4, it is Owen Wyatt. So, well done to him. He was in ILR5 last season, so that is a good jump to see. Ones who not usually in this tier get good results. Is he going to do well in the race? We'll have to wait and see. As we've got a few people on who have a 5-place grid penalty. That is Josh and Joachim. So I think Josh will be starting 13, but let's go have a run through the order. Owen's on pole with Alex Kidder separating the two Red Bulls in a P2. Paga in P3, Tom in P4, CJ Slits in P5, Resty 6th, Ginger 7th, Campbell 8th, Josh 9th, Verstappen 10th, and we got Sam in 11th, Dylan in 12th, Lawman's 13th, Joachim 14th, Spaghetti Chips 15th, Terra Racer in 16th, Dougie in 17th. Now, I didn't see who was 18th, 19th, or 20th, so I didn't see that. So I will check that in a minute. I didn't go through the full grid. So, have I had just... Nope. I haven't had any messages about the weather, so I'm guessing it's going to be dry. Yes, it is. It is going to be a dry race. Otherwise, I would have got a message, but there we go. So, as the drivers are going to be readying up, it will be interesting to see what the weather is going to be like for the... not the weather, sorry. The tyres are going to be like for the bottom half of the field, because they will get free choice of tyres as they go into the race then. So the top 10 don't, obviously. The top 10 will be starting on the soft tyres, but we will keep an eye on who is going to start on which tyre for the bottom half. So, and the race is not won in turn 1. So, I wonder if these guys are going to keep it clean. So, let's just get the tyres up for you. It's like to me to you there. Anyway, top 9 on the softs, my bad. And since Josh took a 5-place grid penalty, he will still have to start on the soft tyres. So we have Sam, who's got 3 choice of tyres in P10. That's going to play very interesting to Sam. He will decide whether he wants to go on to hards or if he wants to go on to the softs for his second stint. Didanen, another guy on the medium compound tyres in 11th, and also Kryptonite and Pedders in 17th and 18th on the mediums as well. And we have Game Boys on the hards. So I haven't seen many people do have their first stint on the hards. This is going to be interesting. I wonder how he's going to be doing there. But everyone else I haven't mentioned in the bottom half, which is Josh, Spaghetti Chips, Lawmans, Terra Racer and Dougie will be on the soft compound tyres, and Joachim as well. So, you got your quali predictions in. Who you think is going to win the race? I'm not going to get any predictions in because knowing me, if I say who's going to win the race live on stream, they're the ones that do rubbish. Like I've seen in ILR5 and ILR3 Xbox. So, yeah, not going to say anything more because otherwise it's going to end horribly for these guys and they're not going to hear the end of it. Right, I am going to... one thing I forgot to do is retweet the ILR tweet so people know that we are live. If you just joined us, you joined us just in time for the opening round of the season of ILR3. It is one of the last tiers of the week then, so hopefully we'll have a good finale to what has been a cracking opening week of racing for season 6, as we've got Game Boys in the Williams about to take the last grid spot, and we are about to get underway. All 20 cars ready and raring to go. Mixture of tyres is going to be an intriguing race then. The engines are about to rev up. The drivers are ready then. Erwin is on your right hand side, Alex on the left. The 5 red lights are about to go on, and it is lights out, and away we go. And both of the guys in the top 2 has got a very decent start, with Alex getting a killer start into turn 1, but Owen managing to recover from that start already, and we've already seen contact into turn 1. Resty has lost it sadly, and we have already seen a little bit of carbon fibre already, but apart from Westy, everyone seems to be making cleanly. And we've just seen a Toro Rosso that's just gone off the gravel into turn 3, and the Ferrari as well. Who's that Ferrari that's lost it? I'm not quite sure. That might have been Campbell, but I think so far it's been alright, as Josh is going to see if he can get past Lawman's in the Toro Rosso there as well, and hopefully people will make it clean into turn 12, but I'm not going to say anything more as we said. So far it's Owen that leads then from Alex Killer, Paga, then Tom, then CJ Slicks, and then Ginger. Verstappen's right on the back of Ginger in a P6. He's going to try and make a lunge into turn 11 coming up soon as well. The top guys have made it, but no, Alex is out. Alex is out. He's the first casualty of turn 12. That is unfortunate. He started P2, but unfortunately could not get the job done. I didn't quite see what happened because I was on board with this cheeky little battle, which is a shell. More Ginger and CJ Slicks having a little bit of a battle up front, going towards the final corner. Oh, they touched just a little bit there. Can this be Verstappen's chance to shine? He's going to try and get the outside line into turn 1. No DRS enabled until lap 3 of the race then. So I think Verstappen might have another chance in these next couple of corners as well. Some very intriguing battles happening midway through the field as well. Josh is looking very feisty in front of Lawmans as well. Now, I think just a question on what the fastest pole time was. Fastest pole time in ILR3 was a 1:19.8, I think. I can't remember, but it wasn't a 1:19.8. Got a yellow flag in set. Oh, it's Joachim. I think it's Joachim. I don't know, or it might have been someone else. I'm not entirely sure, but that's Joachim has started into P17 on the grid so far. But meanwhile, let's jump on board with the battle for P7 then. Josh has made it way past Norman up into P7, and we also got Spaghetti Chips having a little bit of a taster going past turn 12 as well. So, as I like to do with every stream that I do, at the end of this lap, I would like to do something called this. I usually like to do something called the Supercharge Award, but I will speak to that in a minute, as Lenny has just got past Normand up into P8 then, so he's going to have another charge going into the final corner into Josh as well. Don't forget, no DRS enabled into turn 3 because the detection point is just before the end of lap 2 going into lap 3. So the first DRS they will encounter for this lap will be turn 11 and turn 12. Here goes Spaghetti Chips then going into turn 3. Joachim has got a 5-second penalty for speeding in the pit lane as Spaghetti Chips almost goes to the inside as Josh covers him off very nicely there. Always a bit of contact, always a little bit of a car park here going into turn 4 there as Spaghetti Chips has lost it. I think his teammate Petters has as well. Normans has dropped it down as well. Normans in P14 as well, and Game Boys in P15 as well. Let's just check who has gained the most positions from the end of lap 2. So Supercharge Award is what I like to do with all the leagues that I broadcast and commentate in, and the guy that gains the most positions at the end of lap 1. Oh, what's happened? What has just... Oh, that is another casualty of turn 12, and Owen has binned it. Great. I was hoping to bring some good luck to him this race, because the last Australian race he took part in, he won. That's not going to happen this race, sadly. But yeah, don't quite know what happened there. But anyway, the one who has gained the most positions at the end is, I think, is a joint Supercharge Award, goes to Terra Racer and Dougie Falcons there. So, yeah, pretty much everyone that's retired so far has pretty much been in turn 12. And it's been the top 2 as well. So that means Paga is in the lead of this race. I haven't seen that much often. The only time I've seen that is season 3 ILR3. So this is bringing back quite a lot of memories. So we got another retirement. Didn't see where that was. Joachim has gone as well. Can I see anyone? I can't see anyone. It might have been, I think, the first part of set... It might have been. Yeah, it might have been the end of set 3, I think. So, yeah, I didn't see what happened to Joachim and Westy, sadly. So that's them out of the race as well. So, very interesting predicaments already at the start of this opening round of ILR3. And this can shape things up quite a little bit. Meanwhile, Verstappen doing quite well as well. He's gained 4 positions. And he's looking to gain another, as he's still behind the bunch of CJ Slicks and Ginger that have been battling pretty much throughout this whole race so far, even though it's been 4 laps so far. So here goes Verstappen then. He's going to get DRS, but let's go on board with CJ Slicks then. Is he going to get the jump on Ginger into turn 1? No, he does not. He might get the jump into turn 2. We'll have to wait and see as they go through the hairpin. I think Verstappen's going to get the better launch into turn 3. He almost did it around the outside. He is looking quite fast in the Ferrari car. Maybe the Ferrari was the best choice for him right now. They are looking to score some good pointers. Oh, Verstappen almost lost it there into turn 5. And we have another bottler of Josh as well. That is in the middle of the circuit. Luckily, he is ghosted. He's got to move out of the track anyway, otherwise it's going to cause a safety car. So there he goes then. He might be in a disconnect as well, but let's draw our attention back to this battle then. I think Verstappen's the one that lost it as well. Has he lost his front wing or his tyres, or he might have struggling with his tyres, I don't know. But yeah, he might have had contact with him as well. So that's him down in P13, sadly. But he might choose to pit for a set of hards, or might go to a 2-stop. I won't be surprised if he goes on to his 2-stop, actually. Petters is now gained 9 positions due to that as well. Not much change at the front at the moment, but we are going to start to see a few people diving into the pits for their first pit stops, like Verstappen, but Verstappen is going to pit a few laps earlier than intended, which is not quite what he wants for the opening round for his debut in a higher tier. But there we go, as Joachim has left the session. I thought he was still in the race, but he did retire, obviously. As Verstappen, I believe, let me just check, yep, he is. He's going on to a set of the hard compound of tyres. So there he goes then. He might, this is going to be tough call if he can make it to the end of the race. I did see an ILR, I think it was either ILR5 or ILR3 during the week. I did see people, as we got a battle for P5 emerging between Terra Racer as well. Look at this. We got Dylan having a look around Samu as well. Samu really looking to capitalise on any opportunity as much as possible as well. And Dylan, can use this to his advantage if any of these guys make mistakes. So let's see what these guys can do as well. People on the soft tyres will probably look to pit in around a few laps time if they were to go onto the hard compounded tyres. For the ones who have retired, who have teammates retired, they can pit whenever they want. They won't have to rely communicating with their teammate on when's the best lap to pit, which will be an advantage for them, but they probably won't get the tow that they wanted as well. CJ Slick's not that far behind Ginger either. Spaghetti Chips is going into the pits. His header has got a 3-second time penalty. I think the first non-speeding in the pit lane penalty, I think, this race so far then. Let's jump on board with this cheeky battle then for, I think it's pretty much P5, I think. Yeah, it is P5. We've got the Racing Point up front. He's going to be under pressure. The Racing Point is not going to have any DRS at all when he gets to the next detection point, whereas the others are. So it's going to be very, very intriguing here going into these next couple of laps. Now, Dougie is on the Seb soft, whereas Samu and Dylan is on the Seb mediums. Now, Samu and Dylan can stretch for a few more laps, so they could possibly get past Dougie as well, potentially as well. So if Dougie doesn't get a move on, Dougie can lose a few positions going into the pit stops and can maybe not get the undercut working. But let's see, as Samu is taking the outside line into turn 13. Not quite where I wanted to position the car anyway, but there he goes. Samu is up into P7 in this race so far, as Dylan is going to have another look as, we got a bottle for, I think, Samu and both Pedders as well. That puts Dougie into P4 already, which is really going to help them. One of the leading runners, Tom, is going into the pit lane. He is going onto a set of the hard tyres. He is wanting the undercut to work, and he wants to see if he can try and get ahead of Pag. And now the pit stop around here usually is around about 20 seconds, I think, not entirely sure. And we've still got Pedders and Sammy still staying out then. So I wonder if they're going to pit probably a few laps earlier than intended due to slight contact they had earlier on as well. There's been some very interesting developments so far this race, and if you're wondering what assists are used in this tier, it is line, ABS and medium traction control. So that is what is used, and obviously ILR2 is just ABS and ILR1 and line only, whereas ILR1 is just line only. So it's pretty much the same as last season as to what assists they can use. So some drivers in this tier will have line turned on, some drivers in this tier will have line turned off. I think it's just restricted to corners only as well. So Pedder's starting to pull away from Samu in this lap then. So I think Samu must be struggling on those medium tyres, which is quite surprising. As we got Ginger getting a 5-second stop go for speeding in the pit lane. CJ's hasn't. And we got Force India that spinned it in turn 15. Who is that Force India? That is Terra Racer. Maybe he was doing a Lewis Hamilton moment, and maybe he was going to do an in. But anyway, Pagger's just pitted, and he goes ahead of the guys that pitted a lap earlier, which he does, which is what he was hoping for anyway. He goes on to a set of hards. So does Ginger, CJ Slicks, Dougie, and Spaghetti Chips, who's pitted a few laps earlier as well on the hard as well. Nobody's gone on to a set of mediums. which is expected because, you know, and, well, if they were to go on a set of mediums, they would pit a few laps later. As Dougie and Lenny are having a fight going into turn 4 and 5. It's great to see those battling for position, of course, as well. A mixture of the teams from last season battling it out as well. Spaghetti Chips looking to score some good points this time around, and looking to make sure some of these guys might make a few mistakes, but we don't know. We'll have to wait and see what happens. Ginger's race has gone from bad to worse here, as Ginger has got a 3-second time penalty due to multiple warnings right now, so he's going to lose quite a few positions due to that time penalty then. Spaghetti Chips is starting to pick up the pace. His tyres are warmed up properly. Dougie's hasn't, so he will have a chance to do that as well. So your net leader is Paga. We've got Dylan, who is your leading medium runner, along with Pedders and Samu in P3, with Game Boys the leading hard runner in P4 for now. So medium runners will probably pit in around about 4 or 5 laps time, as we got Terror Racer into the pits right now. Is he going to change his front wing? Yes, he does change his front wing as he goes out of the pits. It is a long pit stop, I think, but that was due to him changing his front wing. So there he goes then. He's in 15th place out of the 16 runners we have so far. Not quite sure what happened to Westy and Joachim when they retired, but I know Owen and Alex, the ones who retired so far. For those of you that just want a little bit of an update, they retired in turn 12. Not many people have brought it in turn 12 apart from those two, I don't think. So, yeah, it's turning out to be some very clean racing apart from a few other guys. But we've seen some pretty tasty battles so far. We might get a tasty battle between the medium runner of Kryptonite and the hard runner of Game Boy, as we've got the start finish straight coming up then, and Kryptonite is going to have advantage of DRS. Samu is the first of the medium runners to pit then, as we got a yellow flag in sector 3, which is Ginger, who has just been in turn 15. I think, looks like Lenny and Dougie has avoided him just, and that will mean Ginger will be on his second pit stop in, I think, 2 laps, I think, which is a bit of a shame right now. And that's going to put Spaghetti Chips into the points, as well as Dougie as well. So let's jump right back on board with the battle between battle for track position between Kryptonite and FC Game Boys. I think Kryptonite has dropped back a little bit from Game Boys, but he is looking to gain a few speed from the corners pretty soon as well. So thank goodness I haven't predicted this race, because otherwise the one that I was going to predict to win would have died. The one I predicted was going to win is still out on tracks, so that is good to see. Now, Kryptonite has got a better run going into turn 13, so he's going to look to have another chance going into the DRS straight into the first corner coming up pretty soon as well. No, not the first corner, the start finish straight. There we go. Our next medium runner then of Dinanen is going to dive it into the pits then. And Samu has pitted onto a set of the hard compounded tyres. What can Dinanen do? What is he going to go on to? I think he's going to go on to a set of the hards as well. So they're doing a medium to hard strategy. I haven't seen much of that in any of the other tiers, so it's pretty much a new experience for me. I don't know how this works out for these guys, but they're going to have new battles happening, as I think Dougie has just got past Lenny up into P8, as they were having a scrap for turn 1 then, and Campbell's going to see if he's going to try and have a look around the inside, but he decides to back out of it for now as he stays P10. So we're almost halfway into this race. Some interesting developments as we speak so far as well. And it has been some very close racing pretty much throughout the whole field. To be honest, it's hard to keep up at times as well, which is great to see. And I wonder if any of your favourite drivers are still in this Grand Prix. Let us know who you're rooting for and where you think that driver will end up at the end of this race. So let's just have a look at the gap between Paga and Tom. Now Paga and Tom, 3.38 seconds. So Paga is absolutely flying in the Red Bull so far, and we got a yellow flag and set to 3. I think that was Campbell, into turn 12. And looks like, I think Norman has just gone past. Yes, it was Campbell. Campbell has lost his front wing there. I'm not surprised a lot of people bottle it there, really. It's quite a common corner. That's where that's where my wheels decide to bottle me in ILR8 on Thursday evening. Not going to say anything more, really. But anyway, Campbell goes into the pits. He's probably going to pit for the same, roughly about the same time as he would anyway. But he might want him to go a few laps later to go on the soft tyres. But I think you'll have no choice now to go on to the hard tyres. And we have our regular ILR3 commentator who will be joining us from round 3 onward to cover ILR3. It is Hugo. Nice to see you in the chat. I hope you're having a great time on holiday. Very jealous, very jealous. I'll still be at work whilst you're on holiday, really. But anyway, Ginger not having a good race either. He's down in P14 in a Williams, and Campbell is down in last place. As the remaining runners as well. I'll get the positions back up again, as well as Dougie's had a very good start as well. He started 16 and he's all the way up into P8. Considering he was in ILR4 last season, he's done a pretty good job to gain those many positions as well. So that is good to see. But obviously positions will change when the top 3 runners will pit, and so there will be possibly more positions gained as the race goes on. Now we got Spaghetti Chips in having a lot of battles so far this race. This time he's going to have another charge going into turn 3 with Dougie then, as they're quite close together, especially around turn 4. This is a very tight chicane, a tight apex to get right, and these two managed to do it very well and following very true close proximity here as well. So I wonder what can Lenny do, as well as all these guys as well are fighting for fastest lap to get that 1 extra point, because that 1 extra point could be the difference between winning or losing a championship. That happened in the 2007 real life Grand Prix where Kimi Raikkonen won the championship by 1 point. So having the fastest lap point could make all the difference between winning or losing a championship, or winning or losing a battle in a championship fight as well. So this will really spice things up a bit as we approach this. And the ones who have retired for the opening round, the one advantage is there is another 20 rounds of this season left to go, so they will have 20 more chances to get up into the championship fight, whereas last season they didn't have as many chances because they had 11 races. So Spaghetti Chips is right on the back of Dougie then, going into turn number 3. Gets DRS wide open. Spaghetti Chips is on 50% ERS, and Dougie, I think, has to save his ERS. So I think Spaghetti Chips has gained a little bit more power going into these next set of corners then. So he's going to gain a little bit more advantage going into, and we got the fastest lap on the mediums for 1:24.9. That's set by Ginger, and then Campbell just nips into the post with a 1:24.8. The fastest lap in a race then is set by Onyx in ILR1 PS4. Which happened a few hours ago, and that was a 1:21, and that was set in that tier for the fastest lap of the race. Spaghetti Chips just made his way past Dougie there into turn 11, and there he goes up into P8 once again. Dougie though did lose a bit of DRS, obviously due to the fact that he was overtaking in the DRS period. He could get another chance pretty soon as well. Now, Paga is coming towards traffic of the ones who haven't pitted yet, so I wonder, this could be proved to be very critical in terms of whether he stays there or not. He looks like to be pretty comfortable, but I think, knowing him, I would not challenge for position right now unless you can see the guy behind catching. If the guy behind is catching, of course, get past the person in traffic. But if they're not, and if they're not gaining on that person, not challenge for the position. But I think Pago's going to easily... Oh, no, he doesn't, as Pago's been put up a little bit of a fight from Kryptonite there. Kryptonite doing very well on those medium compounded tyres there, really stretching to the limit there. He's not struggling whatsoever here going into turn 12. I would have struggled if I wore those medium tyres for so long, but some of these guys will probably have to do it going into the race. Probably some of the guys who are stretching those medium tyres for quite a long time, they will probably want to go onto the soft compounded tyres to obviously see if they can gain the fastest lap. So, very intriguing. As we have got 17 laps left to go, so we've got 17 laps left to go, 12 laps left to go. I do apologise, as Kryptonite, I think, is going to let Pago through. No, he is not. Look at this. He's not letting Pago go that easily, as Pago's got to make the move soon, because otherwise we got Tom. Tom is already starting to close the gap to him due to him getting held up in traffic. Now, Ginger's real name is Ulu. Is that how you say it? Ulu. Let me know if I said that right. I do apologise if I haven't. But that's allowed Tom to stretch the gap from about 4.4 seconds to 2.4 due to the fact Pago was held up in traffic. That was the point I was saying a few laps ago. So Pago was hoping Kryptonite would let him pass. But Kryptonite is running his own race as well. He wanted to see if he could close up to the guys ahead of him to get ahead of him in the pit stops. So that will be Game Boy and also Kryptonite. Yes, I have said his name right, Ulu. Thank you, Rusty. As Verstappen has got a 3-second time penalty as well. I won't be checking the time penalties as of yet. As well, so now the gap between Pago and Tom is now 1 second. So Tom is going to be in DRS range pretty soon. He is under DRS range as well. So that is going to be very interesting, or it might be my timing glitches. No, that is people that is just pitted. That is blaming me. So anyway, Perez is going on to the soft compounded tyres. Kryptonite is going on to the soft compounded tyres. And Ulu, also known as Ginger, he's out of the race. I think he binned it in the pit lane. No, he didn't bin it in the pit lane. Where did he bin it? I will double check. That's turn 12 again, isn't it? That is the dreaded turn 12, where most people have died today. Typical. Absolutely typical. But anyway, Samu is looking to have a very intriguing battle for P9 as well, because battle for points is crucial, in particularly if you have a penalty in the mid as well. And I've just had a question. Are you a girl or a boy? I am a girl. I'm a lady. Just saying. Anyway, here comes Samu. I think he's dropped back from Perez quite slightly due to the fact Perez is on the soft compounded tyres. So I think either Perez or Kryptonite will get the fastest lap of the race, I think. So, you never know. I might be wrong. And it will probably be the 5th or 6th race that someone outside the top 10 won't get fastest lap, so they won't get that extra point. Kryptonite getting a 3-second time penalty. Perez is right behind Verstappen, who's been on those hard tyres for 12 laps now. So Perez could, he wants that extra point and he's going to fight for it. He has done very well to get the strategy where he wants to do mediums to softs. It is going to be very risky though, as we've got a free car battle for P7, as Dougie is on much newer tyres than Verstappen. So Verstappen is going to find a lot harder trying to attack him, because he's going to be on a defence from Perez as well. As Perez almost went into the grass there, that is not going to do his tyres any good as well. Game Boy's really stretching that gap on those hard tyres, 18 laps so far. So I know Game Boy is definitely going to go on those soft tyres towards the end. And he's still going to be in a good position though. But Verstappen's still on the back of Dougie then going into turn 12. As we've got Perez right on the sidelines of Verstappen. And then approaching turn 13. Perez to the outside of Verstappen. And he easily takes P8 away from Verstappen. He's like, see you later. And I wasn't that surprised because obviously Perez is on the soft tyres. Now his next challenge is going to be Dougie. Dougie is around about 2 seconds up the road then. And he's going to, nope, he's now 8 attempts. His timing is changing every second there. And Verstappen is almost going to try and make a lunge once again on him. Is Dougie is in DRS range? Is Perez in DRS range of Dougie? Yes, he is. So they're both going to have DRS. Verstappen would have more advantage if Verstappen would be the only one. But since Dougie is also fighting with Pegas, that would be a huge advantage. My word is starting to stumble a little bit there, going into the last line laps. But there we go. Here goes then. Perez is going to have another chance into turn 10. Oh, this is going to be a very tight exit. Have we got a yellow flag in sector 2? That is Samu into turn 9 and 10. And he's out of the session then. So I think one of the first guys to ball it, not in turn 12. So he's decided enough's enough then. I don't think you're meant to retire on your own. I don't think. So he might be giving a penalty. Might be giving a quali ban, I think. I think you're meant to retire in the pit lane, I think. Unless the order has changed a little bit there. I don't know, because it might have compromised other people's runs. But you never know what could happen here. So this has been a very tasty Grand Prix so far. I think in terms of strategy more than anything as well. As look at this, we've got spaghetti chips. Gonna look its way past Dylan up into P5. Dougie, oh no, what's happened to Dougie? Oh, word. Dougie has lost it in turn 1 as he was trying to battle Perez, sadly. And his front wing completely gone. And he's going to pit, I think, for the soft compounder tyres. If he doesn't go on to the soft tyres for his final stint, I'll be surprised. So that was a good points position for Dougie out of the drain there, sadly. Which is a bit of a shame because he was doing so well. And that was, I think, my first commentator's curse of the stream. So I was doing so well up to that point. Shame on you, Dougie. Only joking. I was doing so well up to that point, but there we go. So anyway, Pagas still leads then from Tom. I think Pagas starting to pull away from Tom then, due to him being on fresher tyres than Tom. The gap now is 4.6 seconds. As Game Boys finally dives it into the pits after 20 laps on those hard tyres then. He's done very well to make those hard tyres last that long. I think he's a really good person in conserving his tyres. And due to the fact that he has some clean air in front of him, he was able to do that. And here comes Game Boys. And he's just got ahead of Lawmans. Not quite ahead of Kryptonite, but this could be an intriguing battle towards the end of this race then, if Game Boys pushes. I think he could get past him. I don't know, and he could get past Verstappen as well. So this will be absolutely intense. The lead battle is starting to go away from the rest of these guys, but the midfield battle is getting even more tasty. And that is what happened in most of the races. Actually, no. Towards the final few laps, in I think pretty much all the races I commentated in ILR this week, we've seen lead battles. But we haven't seen that this race so far. Could we see in the last few laps, can Tom start to push? You never know. You never know. So, Rusty is sad that Ulu has crashed. I think it is sad that people have crashed, really, to be honest. Ideally, in an ideal situation, we want all 20 cars in the Grand Prix to make it to the end of the race, but sadly, it's not going to happen. And it is Australia. Most of these guys do not know all the drivers' capabilities yet, and it will possibly take the next few races for them to get used to it. Probably after Baku, I think, because Baku's always a crash fest, I always find as well. So possibly after Baku, and when we get to Spain is where we get to start to see the true pace of these drivers as well. So we'll just have to find out coming up soon as well. So on lap 23 of 29, let us know who your driver of the day is so far. I've had a few drivers of the day, which I'm going to say at the end of the stream. I'm not going to say now, because I did say driver of the day in ILR3 Xbox, and that guy crashed and went out the race. So, not going to say it until the end of the race. I'm learning my jinxes here. I'm learning not to jinx, basically. And look at Lenny. Lenny's in P4 at the moment in this race then. So he's able to stretch his tyres for a good measure. But he's got Pedders, his teammate Pedders, and Dinan catching up on him. Again, apologies if I get these names wrong. And we've got also Game Boys and Kryptonite having a battle as well. So we've got a three-way battle for P7. And potentially they can also catch up to Pedders and Dinan as well. This is going to get absolutely exciting as Kryptonite is going to have a look. He's going to have DRS on Verstappen, and he's going to get the inside line going into turn 1. Can Verstappen get the switchback? No, he can't. Kryptonite, what a move from him. Going into turn 1, and he gets P7 then. What about Game Boys then? Game Boys are going to challenge Verstappen then around the inside there. What a move from Game Boys. The soft strategy for him is going to work out, and Game Boys is on newer tyres to Kryptonite. So could this be a comeback for him to get past him in these next couple of corners? It might be. It's nice to see him up, and my second jinx of the stream, he gets a 3-second time penalty. He probably got a few time penalties already this stream, but you never know. So that's Game Boys up into 8th, but I think he'll get up to 10th, I think, due to those penalties then. But what a move from Game Boys anyway. I think the move of the stream, I think, so far, as Pedders has got a 3-second time penalty as well. So I think he might still hold on to get P8 unless he hasn't gained enough penalties, as Josh has set the fastest lap of the race so far with a 1:22.3 so far. The guys in the top 10 are hoping to get the fastest lap away from him. And Game Boys is looking like he's hoping to get some clean air so he can get fastest lap, but you never know. We've got Pedders and Dinan and Spaghetti Chips having a little bit of a battle, but let's go on board with Game Boys and Kryptonite once again. Game Boys now takes the outside line this time, and the camera is not cutting at the right place, but never mind. Game Boys is up into P7. Kryptonite making a bit of a mistake. That pushes Verstappen up into P8. Then what has happened to Kryptonite? I think he's had a few grass on his tyres, which means that he has struggled, but I've seen in the opening stint the tyres go to around about 9 laps, so I think Kryptonite is going to struggle for these last couple of laps, and then maybe Pedders is going to struggle as well. I did say it would be a gamble between these two, and he is going to have Game Boys challenging in the next few laps as well. So it is going to be absolutely tight. If you have enjoyed these last this race so far and all the other races in ILR this week, make sure you click the subscribe button and also like this video as well. And we are doing very, very well on subscriber counts as well, which is good to see. And how is Game Boys looking at the back of this train? Quite tasty up front as well, as Dylan is right on the back of Spaghetti Chips. What about Pedders? Pedders has got to make the move done now, but I think he's struggling. He is starting to struggle actually. He's getting penalty after penalty after penalty, so he's going to drop massively. Kryptonite is also suffering the same fate as well. That pushes him down into P9. Yeah, that pushes down to P9 for now, but I think that'll put him out of points paying position, which is not what he wants in the opening ILR3 race, but at least he will be finishing the race. I've learned that if you finish a race, that is also a good achievement, but some people would prefer to get into the points to get their championship off to a good start. So how is Perez looking on the back of this lot? This is going to get very intense. Neither of these guys can't afford to make any mistakes as they're on to the end of their tire life. We're on lap 26 of 29. Paga still leads from Tom. This is taking us back to the ILR3 Season 3 glory days where actually no, it's ILR2 glory days. Not ILR3, ILR2. He was in ILR2 in Season 3. I said ILR3 at the beginning of the stream, where he was in Season 3, where he almost won the title. But yeah, but here we go. Here comes Dylan, and he's gone past Spaghetti Chips quite easily there, and he makes his way into P4 for now. Can Perez get past his teammate? I don't think he can. But Game Boys could squeeze past Perez, or Game Boys almost made a little bit of a mistake going into turn 4. He's possibly going to find a way to get past him sooner or later. I think he's starting to make a few more mistakes than normal. But that will allow Game Boys to capitalise going into turn 9 and 10. Oh, he almost touched a little bit there. Here comes Game Boys to the outside of him. And another good move from Game Boys then. That pushed him up into P6. Can he catch up to Lenny then in the last few laps? What I'm going to do is I'm not going to check penalties. I'm going to keep the suspense going for these last couple of laps because this is getting very spicy for the midfield. I hope you're all joining in for the last few laps of ILR3 and the last few laps of the first week here in ILR in Australia. All the races so far this week has been amazing to watch. Amazing battles as well. I hope you guys enjoyed it. And we also got, I think, Kryptonite and Verstappen having a battle as well. Kryptonite seems to be struggling again. But he's going to have a little look past Verstappen then going into the start-finish straight then. He's going to take the outside line. Verstappen's been on those hard tyres for 22 laps. Normans has been on 24. I've seen an Xbox or ILR5. I think I've seen an ILR3 Xbox. No, it was ILR5, I think, where the guy who was on hards for 25 laps had a puncher. Please, please, please do not get a puncher, Lawmans. Heaven forbid. I think we are all praying, to be honest, that either Verstappen or Lawmans do not get a puncher. But we'll have to wait and see anyway. These guys have just got to keep it on the track. Before that, they just got to keep it on the track. As Perez has got a 3-second time penalty as well. I think Perez has got loads of penalties so far this race. But meanwhile, let's jump back on board to the battle for pretty much P4. Game Boys almost had a look around the outside of Spaghetti Chips. Dylan almost had a wheel issue or controller issue, but luckily he is back to normal. Oh, it's Game Boys had a little bit of a mistake between him and Perez and Lenny as well. So that's allowing Lenny to pull away into P5 then. I think that incident will be looked up in the stewards possibly at the end of this race. Kryptonite will get past Verstappen into P8. We're going on to the final round of final lap of this race. As Verstappen he almost made a bit of a mistake. Please, as I don't think he's got a puncher. No, he hasn't. Oh my god, I was fighting for dear life. Verstappen could not afford any mistakes, because otherwise, I wonder what tyre wear these guys are on pretty much towards the end. I don't know. But we'll have to wait and see. But meanwhile, let's go on board as with our race leader then, Paga. He started P3. Both of the top two retired on lap 2, which helped him really stretch the gap he needed. I don't think he's got any penalties. He comes across the line. He goes back to his glory days. He wins the first round of ILR3. This is the first time he has won for absolutely ages. This is the longest streak he has had. But he's gone on to win. Tom has come across the line in P2. CJ Slicks. So we got a double Mercedes podium. And we got Spaghetti Chips in at P4. This is like qualifying. in the Hungarian Grand Prix. So we've got Spaceships in 4th, but he stays 4th. So a good result for him. Game Boys holds on to P5. Dylan in P6, Verstappen in P7. Let's see who's got fastest lap, actually. Josh could still take it. At the moment, Josh has it. So no one gets the extra point for fastest lap, as Josh does get fastest lap. And Dougie, due to those penalties, does not get a point. Headers drops all the way down into P10, which is not what you want, as I think I missed a P5 fight as well, but I don't know. But because there was so much battling happening on the track, it was hard to look for it, but you never know. Wow, what a good race to end off a really good week of racing here at ILR. So your race winner then is Paga. Can someone say in chat when he last won? So I know he's won, but when did he last win? It must have been season 3, surely, that he last won. But not entirely sure. But well done to Paga anyway. Haven't followed much of him this stream because he's been faultless. So, and we got both Mercedes on the podium. And will Paga replicate this good form into the next race in Bahrain next week? We'll have to find out soon, as we will get the results for you coming up really shortly. Here we go, as Paga actually got a penalty there. I didn't see that penalty. 7 tenths there, separated between Paga and Tom. Quite a lot of penalties given in this race. So there we go, Paga takes the win with Tom in 2nd, CJ Slicks in 3rd, gets Spaghetti Chips in 4th, Game Boys 5th, Dylan in 6th, Verstappen in 7th, Norman's in 8th, Kryptonite in 9th, Pedders in 10th, your final points paying position. Then we've got Dougie in 11th, Campbell 12th, Terra Racer in 3rd, and Josh gets the fastest lap of the race. And your non-finishers, Samu, Ginger, Joachim, Owen, Resty, and Alex Killer. I enjoyed that. That was really good. That was lots of action. Not many incidents, not many bottles. In ILR5 there was a lot more bottles at this stage, and there was a lot more finishes this race as well. So props to you guys. So next week in ILR3 we will be back in Bahrain. I like Bahrain in this race to commentate. It provides a lot of on-track action, and most of the races I find in Bahrain, I always go back with a smile on my face after commentating on them. I think I'm filling in for Hugo next week. I'm not entirely sure. It will be either me or Hugo anyway, but keep an eye on the ILR Twitter for more information. This is the actual final race of the week, so that is it then for Australia. It is great, and am I doing interviews? No, because I forgot to plug my cables. Yeah, I forgot to plug my cables there. Because the cables I was meant to plug to hear the party, I forgot to plug. I was meant to. I will try to remember to do podium interviews next week if I am doing ILR3 next week. But yeah, that was a massive bottle from me. But anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure you join us for some more ILR action, beginning with the PC side on Tuesday at 8 PM with Ruben as your commentator, and then the PS4 action begins on Thursday at 6:30 for ILR7, 8 and ILR6, and then ILR5 and 4 at 8 PM. So thank you guys so much for watching. I've been JessGames95. We will see you next week, well, in about a few days' time, for some more ILR action. Thank you. Good night.